Welcome back, everybody, for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place for all of us by helping us lock up some bad guys. Coming up here in just a few minutes, we'll let you know about some individuals that we are trying to locate. We could use your help. If you have any information, please call that in. You could get a cash reward of up to $1,000, and you don't even have to tell us who you are. You can claim that reward money without ever telling us your name. You'll get a number to go along with your case, and you'll use that to claim your reward if there is one. We'll also have the Crime Stoppers segment of the show that we will talk about some property crimes in the area that maybe you can help us solve. That's all coming up here in just a little bit. Also coming up here very soon, the 4th of July, the birthday of our nation. And a lot of celebrating is going to be going on. We're going to have a lot of people celebrating on the waters, which we've already had some tragedy here locally on the waterways. And so we want to remind everybody, please, if you're out on the water for the 4th of July or anytime this summer, please follow all the boating safety rules. Be as careful as you can be. And even some things that aren't necessarily required, if it's going to keep you safe, go ahead and do that. Like adults, you don't necessarily have to wear your life vest. You have to have it with you. But if you go ahead and wear it, then statistics show that you're a lot more likely to survive a mishap, which sometimes is just absolutely unavoidable. But of course, on the 4th of July, a lot of folks are going to be setting off fireworks. We celebrate our birthday of this great country. That's a great thing, but we need to do it safely. You don't want to involve a lot of alcohol with fireworks. You don't want the kids shooting off the fireworks. You want the adults handling that and handling it responsibly, keep everybody back. You know all the things that are going to help keep you safe. There's nothing much that we can tell you that is going to educate you more than you already are about being safe. It's just making the right choices. And that's what we're going to ask you to do, is save yourself and the folks at the emergency room some trouble and do the things that you know you're supposed to do to be safe with the fireworks and the grills and everything else for this 4th of July. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the first half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead,
drug addict,
alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch
like me.
I once was
homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost.
But now I am
sober,
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
I have my own lawn care service. One day I had some blades that was bent. I was probably here for 5 minutes and they had me back on the road going.
It helps me make more money simply because it's a more dependable machine. And side-by-side comparisons, people want to say they're better, but I've driven them and Toro is the best.
Hey folks, come see us at Foothills Tractor. We're your one-stop shop for anything you need. Locally owned, locally operated, give you the best customer service guaranteed.
Hi, I'm Elena Moeller, standing in for Katina Stroud, and this is the Family Tip of the Week. Summer vacation has arrived, and so have calls to family links with parents ready to pull their hair out. Why is the end of school an invitation for kids to possibly cause trouble with siblings, friends, and parents? Kids often see the summer months as a time to do whatever they please with no responsibilities or academic pressures. Some kids expect an endless range of fun activities, and besides that, they're hanging out with friends, sleeping until noon, and might see an easing of the rules as their reward for making it through another school year. When you combine these factors, expectations and a change in schedule, with an increase in family togetherness, it's only a matter of time before the level of conflict rises in your home. Having some amount of structure in the summer is helpful for most families. Having structure in the summer can also help kids make a more seamless transition back into school come fall. They will already be accustomed to meeting the demands of a schedule and getting up in the morning, whereas if no summer structure was in place, the school routine would be a shock to their systems once the new semester rolls around again. Determining how much structure to put into place will depend on the individual needs of your children. Of course, setting a summer schedule for your teenager will look a little bit different. The hope is that by the time kids reach their teen years, they will be more capable of managing their time. Ideally, there should be a mix of both planned activities and downtime. Remember, summer will come and go quickly. Work together as a family to come up with new, creative, and inexpensive ways to enjoy the summer during those downtimes. Search locally on Facebook, the local paper, and ask around about activities going on in Calhoun County. For more family tips, contact Family Links at 256-820-5911.
Welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up on our lineup this week, Garrett Heathcock. Mr. Heathcock, last known to be living in Ohatchee, he's wanted for failure to appear on domestic violence, third assault. And this is Kenneth Davey. Mr. Davey, last known to be living in Mumford, he's wanted for probation violation on fraudulent use of a credit card. And meet William Bates. Mr. Bates, last known to be living in Talladega, he's wanted for failure to appear on breaking and entering a vehicle and criminal mischief, third. And take a look, if you will, at Stephen Crane. Mr. Crane, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to appear on domestic violence, third. And this is Barry Williams. Mr. Williams, last known to be living in Gadsden, he's wanted for failure to appear on unauthorized use of a vehicle. And we'd like you to meet Rodney Reynolds. Mr. Reynolds, last known to be living in Atala, he's wanted for probation violation on theft of property, third. And last up for the first half of our lineup, Cedric Davis. Mr. Davis, last known to be living in Mumford, wanted for a probation violation on possession of a forged instrument, second. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show.
All right, and we are back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted, and it's time to talk with Saram Selassie, a former councilman for the city of Anniston and a candidate in the last election.
Right.
And the way the votes were counted, you did not win in the last election, but you decided you weren't going to stop there.
Right.
You are looking at the votes and trying to figure out if fairly you should have been elected. So tell us about that.
Yeah, well, first, Chris, I want to make it crystal clear to all your viewers and everyone throughout the area that I did win at the polls, but it was these enormous amount of absentee ballots that came in that kicked me out of the process. And what immediately happened, especially that night on election night, October the 4th, 2016, I started to get calls and different people in the community saying, hey, you know, you really kind of need to look into this absentee ballot thing. I had a relative or a friend that, you know, someone was coming by their house and asking them to vote absentee, and I know they really didn't need to vote absentee. So I was already kind of, you know, thinking about what I had seen leading up to that process of the election.
Now let's stop for a second. An absentee ballot, if done properly, is just as legal as a vote cast at the polling place.
Exactly. That's why the federal government put that protection in place for people that actually need to vote absentee ballot.
And what are the reasons? Because there are some limitations on using it. It's not just, okay, here's something, if you feel like you don't want to come to the polling place, you can just do it without coming down. That's not the case.
That's not how it works. You have to be physically unable to make it to the polls. That means you have some real, they even go down a list of issues, cardiovascular, musculoskeletal issues. You have to be in the military. If you're overseas, it's, you know, obvious that you should be able to vote an absentee ballot. A college student, work 10 hours or more, or be an actual poll worker. All of those reasons qualify you as an absentee ballot voter. But if you just want to vote absentee ballot because you feel like it, That's not right, and that's not the law.
Now, there are a lot of people in that category that do fit one of those categories
Right.
that end up not voting.
Right.
They don't know that they're eligible to, or for whatever reason, they don't know what the process is.
Right.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with somebody saying, hey, you know, you have a right to vote, and I'm going to help you exercise your right, is there?
There's nothing wrong with that. But if you go to a person and you know that they've even voted at the polls on a consistent basis, and you say, hey, you know what, this time you can just kind of stay at home, or this is more convenient for you, just vote here, you don't have to go to the polls. That's wrong, and that's against the law. And voter fraud is a Class C felony.
All right, so is it your belief that voter fraud has occurred in this last election?
I strongly feel that way, Chris. And I think once we actually get to a trial date, we're in the midst of depositions. One deposition that is now out there in public record, one voter said, I don't know who I voted for. You know, I was just told that I was helping a friend and I signed my name on a document and I didn't really even vote. So, you know, those type of things that I'm learning that were confirmed from what I was already hearing out in the community, it's eventually it has to come to the trial and get out in public record, and the judge has to make a decision.
All right, are you hearing a lot of people that are really upset from your ward about this?
Definitely. You know, the way in which a lot of people come and tell me, they say, you know, it's not right that the Ward 3 City of Anderson election was stolen from you.
Let's pause for a second here again, though. How many people in the ward voted and how many people didn't vote?
There were a great bit of people that didn't vote at all, and you know that's a nationwide issue upon which
if we'd had them voting,
exactly,
and they vote the way they told you that they wanted to,
right,
then this would not be an issue.
Not at all.
It would have easily overcome those absentee votes, whether they were legal or not.
Right. There are thousands of voters in Ward 3 that could have come out to the poll, registered voters. As far as the people that actually came out, total around 600.
So let's take this right now. This is an opportunity to say, if you aren't happy with what happened here and you didn't vote, I'm not going to say you don't have anybody to blame but yourself, because the courts are going to decide whether you have somebody to blame or not.
Right.
But the first person to blame is you yourself. If we have the right to vote,
right,
and we don't use it,
right,
then we are just laying it out there for whoever is going to get out there and get votes in whatever way they can.
Right.
To do what they want to do, and we don't have a voice.
So true. Your voice is your vote. Your vote is your voice. And it's so funny. I look at a lot of Anderson Star articles that are out now and people just complaining about this and talking about how the current city council is going. Well, did they go out to the polls and actually cast their ballot to make sure that the city didn't go back to pre-2012 Anderson City Council?
And sometimes you'll see people that will use something like this as an excuse to say, see, it's all rigged anyway. My vote doesn't matter. That's exactly the wrong attitude. Now, I can understand where you might be upset, and maybe something, certainly in some elections, we found that things have been rigged. This one, it's still to be determined by the courts.
Exactly.
But that's not an excuse for you not to go out and air your vote, cast your vote.
At the polls, I won by a 6-vote margin. With the exorbitant amount of absentee ballots that came in, then I ended up losing by 10. So just imagine, even if 10, 11 or so people would have come out to the polls and cast their ballot for me, out of those thousands of qualified registered voters, we wouldn't even be in this situation.
A dozen people could have changed this.
Dozen
completely.
people.
All right,
That's it.
so that's the number one lesson we need to take out of this right now for everybody viewing is, if you don't think your vote matters, you are wrong.
Right.
It does matter. Now, we're going to talk some more about the legal aspects of this here in just a second. We need to take a break. We'll be right back with Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead.
Drug addict. Alcoholic. Meth freak.
A wretch.
Like me.
I once was.
Homeless.
Broken. Sad.
Just lost.
But now I am
Sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
I have my own lawn care service. One day I had some blaze that was bent. I was probably here for 5 minutes and they had me back on the road going.
It helps me make more money simply because it's a more dependable machine. And side-by-side comparisons, people want to say they're better, but I've driven them and Toro is the best.
Hey folks, come see us at Foothills Tractor. We're your one-stop shop for anything you need. Locally owned, locally operated, give you the best customer service guaranteed.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Daniel Adams. Mr. Adams, last known to be living in Oxford, he's wanted for failure to pay on criminal mischief second. Take a look at Roosevelt Morris. Mr. Morris, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to pay on receiving stolen property second. And this is Marquarius Orr. Mr. Orr, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for probation violation on possession of marijuana first. And please meet Rebecca Perry. Miss Perry, last known to be living in West Blockton, Alabama, she's wanted for assault third. We'd like you to meet DeMarcus Byers. Mr. Byers, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to appear on harassment. And last up for our lineup this week is Lisa Hanna. Miss Hanna, last known to be living in Anniston, she's wanted for failure to appear on attempted burglary third. And that's it for our lineup this week. If you have any information on the whereabouts of these folks, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers 256-238-1414.
All right, we are back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. We'll have the Crime Stoppers segment of the show coming up in just a few minutes and our crazy criminal of the week. But right now we're talking with Seyram Selassie, former and possibly future city councilman for the city of Anniston. We've been talking about this most recent election where you were not reelected. You had 6 more votes than your opponent at the polls.
Right.
But when the absentee ballots were counted, he ended up having more votes than you did. You have challenged this in court, claiming that, and I don't want to put words into your mouth, but claiming that some of these absentee ballots are not legal votes. Is that correct?
Correct. And one other thing I want to go ahead and put out there that we've already learned, and again, they must not have known that some of this information is public information. When you go and cast your ballot, it doesn't say who you voted for as far as at the polls, but it does say that you went in person and voted at the polls. It's easy to then cross-reference that with your address, wherever you live. I can look on the Secretary of State's public record information and say, Chris Wright voted from this address in this particular district. Well, also what we're learning that happened in my particular election is you had people such as an individual named Jeffrey Williams. He owns a funeral home. He was using his funeral home address to vote in the Ward 3 election. The funeral home is in Ward 3, but again, reference that with public record, he lives in Saks. So it's amazing that there seemed to be some concerted, focused effort to do anything that these individuals could to get me out of office. And, when I think about also those absentee ballots, out of the 19 that we're looking at, one individual's name is on all of them. An individual by the name of James Montgomery. And if you look back in the 2014 Calhoun County Commission runoff, he was involved in getting a lot of absentee ballots into that race. And there was all kind of confusion dealing with that. But again, in that race for Calhoun County Commissioner Fred Wilson, who prevailed, there were a lot of people that ended up coming to the polls, so that those absentee ballots didn't even matter.
Well, let's go ahead and say this out loud.
Yeah.
If he's getting legal votes out there, if he's encouraging people to share their voice legally, then he's to be applauded for that.
Very good point, Chris. And that's what the judge will have to determine. And in my opinion, really the fundamental question and the crux of this entire case is, can people like you and I vote absentee ballot whenever we want to? Public record, again, shows that many of these individuals, at least 13 of the 19, either voted on November 8th or August the 23rd, so before and after the October 4th municipal runoff. So logically speaking, on just October the 4th, is it someone's legal right to just vote absentee because they want to and because they check, for the most part, that I'm not able to physically make it to the polls? So again, that's the fundamental question that the judge is going to have to answer. And, you know, I feel with the other evidence that we have that I really can't discuss, but a lot of this public record information, there's obviously some issues that we find in this process.
Okay, so you said that there are 19 votes that you were challenging.
19 absentee ballot votes. Again, there are out of districts that we'll be dealing with as well.
Okay, so 19 that are the absentee, but the total number is going to be higher than that.
Yes.
The number, it may be that the court says, okay, some of these are perfectly fine, some of these are not. And I guess the number that we need, or that you need to change, if you want to change the result of the election, is going to be
11 votes.
11 votes.
I lost by 10, so 11 would overturn. So the judge can do three things. He can leave things the same, he can order a new election, or he can declare that there were enough illegal ballots cast and votes counted that declares me as a rightful winner of the Ward 3 election. So that's the three options that he has.
Do you believe this is taking, you know, a bit of a cloud over the city of Anniston? These court proceedings, people are going to look at this and they don't even know for sure who the government is going to be. So if they're looking at opening up a business in Anniston, we really don't know what's going on. Do you believe it's in the best interest of the city of Anniston for you to be challenging this election?
Yes, I definitely do. If you look at already where we are as far as economic development projects, things that are either staying in the city or projects that are leaving, I think there was a much different view of the entire city from 2012 to 2016 as opposed to 2016 going forward. We've already heard issues and just all kind of accusations on the current council have been thrown out by individuals, by specifically my former opponent. I mean, just the type of things that he's doing, that doesn't encourage economic development. That doesn't encourage revitalization in the city. That doesn't even encourage citizens wanting to stay in the city. There are certain individuals that are telling me, look, I just want to leave. And I'm saying, no, please don't leave. Stay in the city. It's going to get better regardless of what happens in my situation. I believe in Anniston. I believe we can be that model city. And I truly do believe in the concept that our previous council espoused, which was one city, one vision.
All right, we've only got a few seconds left. I know you're as ready for this whole process to be over as anybody. In your best estimate, what kind of time frame are we looking at here? Just quickly.
So right now, Chris, we're only looking at about 3 more depositions that have to be completed. There have been delays, not on our part, but on my opponent's part. He switched attorneys and all kind of stuff has gone on. But once these 3 depositions are complete, the judge is looking to finally start having final hearings and then a trial date, hopefully for the ending and wrapping up of this case.
All right. Well, Sayram, thank you for being with us and explaining the things, and good luck in your court proceedings.
Thank you.
All right. And good luck to the city of Anniston, regardless of the outcome. All right, we are going to take a break. We'll come right back with the Crime Stoppers segment of the show and our Crazy Criminal of the Week on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
I have my own lawn care service. One day I had some blades that was bent. I was probably here for 5 minutes and they had me back on the road going.
It helps me make more money simply because it's a more dependable machine. And side-by-side comparisons, people want to say they're better, but I've driven them and Toro is the best.
Hey folks, come see us at Foothills Tractor. We're your one-stop shop for anything you need. Locally owned, locally operated, give you the best customer service guaranteed.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead drug addict,
alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch like me.
I once was
Homeless,
Broken. Sad.
just lost.
but now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show, where we ask you to help our investigators with a couple of these cases. First up this week, on June 12th, a residence on Cedar Springs Road in Jacksonville was broken into. They got away with some money and groceries. And last up on your caseload this week, on June 14th, a Ruger 22 Magnum revolver was stolen from a residence on Mount View Road in Wellington. We'd like to find that firearm, certainly. If you know any information on either of these cases or any other cases, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers. That number 256-238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
How many people can say that they got busted by Batman? Not a whole lot. You know, if you're looking at the comic books and the movies, sure, there are plenty of people that Batman has busted, but in real life, well, Damon Cole is a police officer in Fort Worth, Texas, and one of the things that he does in his off time is he'll go and dress up as superheroes to visit kids in the hospital. And it cheers these kids up, and it's just something that he loves to do to help with these kids. And he was in the middle of doing that, and he'd been in and visited some kids dressed up as Batman. And then as he's leaving, he gets a call about a shoplifting at Walmart. So he goes to respond to this call, still in his Batman costume. And I think we've got pictures here because the individual that he arrested wanted to have his selfie made with Batman. So the perp got his selfie made with the Caped Crusader. He did not get away with the crime. I don't know that I would have wanted that picture all over the internet, but that was his choice. So, you know, Batman usually doesn't like to do that to somebody. He just arrests them and send them to jail. But in this case, he asked for it, literally. All right, well, that's all the time that we have for this week. We'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Amazing Grace.
How sweet the sound that saved.
A crackhead, drug addict,
Alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch like me.
I once was
Homeless,
Broken. Sad.
just lost.
but now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
You're watching WEAC TV 24, Oxford, Anniston, Gadsden.